Hello, vinyl community. I'm Craig, and this is Spirit of Vinyl. How we doing? Happy Friday. Hope you guys all had a wonderful week out there in vinyl community land. Friday night, so let's get her started. Break this open. This is a West 6 Brewery IPA. I've had this before. It's pretty good. It's from Lexington, Kentucky. Cheers to you all. Hope you guys are all having a great time out there. Well, it's been a couple weeks. Last time I talked to you guys, I didn't get a video done last weekend. Just didn't have the time. You know, this time of year is really difficult. 2 weeks ago, I did put out the contest, and I want to say your guys' response to my contest has been awesome, man. I've got this whole list of people, plus more. There's like 3 more I need to write down so I can keep up with you all. It was a push to 300, and for my birthday, that's what I wanted, and I've already got it. But the contest is going to continue on. And if this is the first time you've seen me and you don't know what I'm talking about, you have it until January 6th. Go back to my previous video. It'll explain the whole thing. But I really appreciate all the support from everybody out there. I've gotten tons of new followers. I've been meeting new people, doing the video and going to their thing. And it's a lot. I'm trying to keep up. So if I haven't commented or done anything, I just trying to keep up with the videos coming in for the contest and seeing new people. And just, it's been really kind of hard. I got a lot going on. So it's all good though. So thought I'd just jump on here and throw on a quick one here. And I was thinking, what am I going to do? I got to do something. I got all these new followers. You guys, I got to give you some content, right? Let you, make it know it's worth your while. So, but of course, those of you who know me, I don't prep too well sometimes. So it is what it is. So what I've done for today is I have all of my music broke up by genre and subgenres or whatever over here. So I just went along to each section in each genre and pulled out the first one in each section. So you're going to see a lot of bands with the letter A in their names, obviously, and I took the first one out and just to see what we were going to come up with. So from my metal section, just my regular metal section, you'll see what I'm talking about when I get to the end. The first thing I came up with when I pulled that out, Accept. And this is their self-titled debut album, if I remember correctly. It's from 1979. As you can see, Japanese press. There's a picture of the band on the back. That's Udo right there with the white jacket and on and the long hair. I only know Udo as a bald guy, right? The guy who is in the Balls of the Wall video. First time I ever heard of Accept was in the Balls of the Wall video. I need to get that record. I do not have that. I have this, and I have like a greatest hits album. This is one of the ones that I had found. This Japanese pressing was one. This is one of the ones that I had found that day in the dumpster. You guys all know the dumpster story, or most of you do. The new people, I don't know. You can go back and find it. But there's the insert. There's the English side. There's the Japanese side. It also has like an order form for Casablanca Best Lineup, which is interesting. It's got the Casablanca Records thing on here. But this is not on Casablanca unless this is like a subsidiary, or maybe Accept was on Casablanca. I don't know why that's in there, if that's actually what it came with. But there's the logo right there. Looks like it says Brain on it. Yeah, so I don't know where the Best of Casablanca inserts come from. So, but it's pretty cool. I like this record a lot. I really do. Like I said, it's very early, obviously. I'm assuming it's their debut album. It is called Accept, and it's from 1979, so that's my total guess on that. So, but it's pretty good. I've spun it a couple times. It's something I never would have bought, but, something that I found when I found that day in the dumpster. So there'll be a couple more of those in here, too. But next up in my section is my thrash section. So I have a metal section and I have a thrash section. You'll see where I'm going here. And the first thing in there is Anthrax Among the Living. This is a repress that I'm not sure of the date on because there's no dates on here. There's the track listing. I mean, this is Anthrax's, to me, this is their greatest album they've ever done. And I do not have an original copy of this, so I got this. Like I said, this is a repress, and it is a picture disc repress. So it's got this picture on both sides with no writing and no anything else. So when I play this, you have to look really close in the run-out grooves and see the one that says /1 or /A or whatever it is, and the other one will say /2 or /B, so you know which one to put down because it doesn't say side 1 or side 2. I'd like to find a copy of this. I wish Anthrax would repress their stuff. You know, I'm not sure when this came out, when this pressing came out. Like I said, there's no dates on here at all. It sounds pretty good. I think modern day picture discs sound a lot better than they used to back in the day. So it's good to have a copy to spin, but I would love to have, you know, an OG copy is pricey, and Anthrax hasn't really repressed any of that stuff. So besides doing something like this, so I would like to see the whole catalog repressed like Testament's been doing and repressing their stuff from the beginning. So, all right, next up I have a section that's nu metal / groove metal or whatever, and I put these guys in there, but I'm not sure if they quite fit all of that, but they do have a groove metal type of sound to an extent. This is Avatar, and this is the Dance Devil Dance album from 2022, and there's the back cover. This is all these lyrics and everything, it's all raised up, so very tactile on the back. There's the inner sleeve of the lead singer there, Johan, if I remember correctly, if that's how you pronounce that. You know, they're Swedish. They used to be, when they first came out, they were more of like a screamo type band, but they've definitely changed their style as time goes on. That's why I have them in the groove metal section. It's a pretty good record. I really do dig them. It's got all these inserts with lyrics on one side and band member pictures on the other. So you get one from each band member. Avatar, I would suggest giving them a listen, and if you like them, I mean, I don't think anybody else really sounds like them at all, and if you ever get a chance to see them live, you should go see them live. I've seen them live a bunch of times. It's on a red vinyl, so I've seen them live, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 times. I had a chance to see them live just a couple weeks ago here in Nashville. I just didn't have the money or the time. It was on a Thursday night. I had to take a day off from work, and I just really couldn't afford it. It was the week after Thanksgiving, so I had to pass this time around. But I've seen them as opening act, I've seen them as headliner. If you get a chance to see Avatar, go see him. Highly recommend. Great live show. All right, so next up is the death metal section. So, yeah, the death metal section. And this is Acid Bath, When the Kite String Pops. This is a 2004 repress of their 1994 album. This is a very early, this is kind of early death metal, sort of a deathy, sludgy type of sound. It doesn't really sing not too many, it's not like pig squeals and stuff like that. It's more of a growling type of vocal. This is a great record. I saw this on CollectCo, which is a thing you can find on YouTube. You look up CollectCo, they do live auctions. They had this, I spent like $60 on it, but I've never seen it in the wild, and it's just, I love this record. It's a double. There's your label. It's just on black vinyl. Came with the paper, but it's got the, the cellophane on the inside. So, Acid Bath When the Kite String Pops. Highly recommend if you like that doomy, sludgy type of sound. So, all right, the next section I have is my new wave of British heavy metal section, and the first one in that section, Angel Witch. This is, oh boy, I'm not even sure what year this came out in. To tell you the truth off the top of my head, Let's see if I can see that here. And even if I did, this is a Japanese press. It may have come out later, but this is their, I'm assuming is their debut album. I didn't do any research. See, I don't do research. I should have done some research today. Angel Witch, self-titled, Japanese press, obviously. There's the back cover. I'd like to slide that over, but you know how these Obi strips are. I don't want them to fall. This is another one that was found, obviously. Well, I say obviously. When you see a Japanese press, when I show a Japanese press, 98% of the time, it's one of the ones I found in the dumpster. So, Angel Witch, and it's got, of course, all those ones I found were basically in perfect condition. So you've got the insert here. It's a picture of the band. This is one of the ones that opens up like a gatefold. It's got your lyrics on the inside in English and Japanese. And there's your back cover there with the track listing in the Japanese. And it is on the bronze label. And what I got to say about this record is I really dig it. It is an early... Sorry, I don't want to drop this over here. They're sliding down on the floor. I need to find a better way to do this shit. Early new wave of British heavy metal sound. It's got, you know, it's only a 3-piece, but it's got that same driving, galloping bass type of sound and just very cool stuff, man. I really dig this, guys. It's the only Angel Witch album I have, though, and it's very cool. I like it a lot. All right. My next section is what I call a hair metal section, and I know we shouldn't say hair metal because hair metal's derogatory. Whatever. 80s pop metal, I don't know what you'd call it. We call it hair metal. I mean, and a lot of people don't like it. And, you know, I know there's certain people of that era that played that music. They don't like being called hair metal. They think of it as something that puts them in some sort of category, and they just played metal. So, whatever. It's 80s era metal. That 80s poppy type of thing. So, hair metal, whatever you want to call it. The first thing in that, Ace Frehley, Frehley's Comet. And I thought about when I pulled this out is Ace hair metal. Well, Frehley's Comet definitely had the look, and it was the right era, and they wrote that style of song. This is Ace's debut after he left Kiss. This has got Rock Soldiers and Breakout and In the Night and Stranger in a Strange Land. Actually, this song I have In the Night. This has Rock Soldiers, Breakout, Into the Night. Yeah, there it is. This is a great record, man. I love this record. Still have the inner sleeve. I picked this up, I don't know, it wasn't that long ago, within the last year or two. It's not, I mean, I had it back in the day. Megaforce Records. Yeah, there's your Megaforce logo right there. Sadly, Ace is no longer with us, which we all know by now. But yeah, I don't remember quite where I picked this up at. If this was at my local store, if I ordered it, I don't remember. I had it back in the day, not on vinyl. It was cassette because it was the 80s. But this is a great record. This is really cool stuff. Ace coming off a Kiss and just kind of kicking ass out there. So, all right. Next up is what I consider my hard rock section. And the first thing in the hard rock section, AC/DC High Voltage. This is their debut album. This is a New Zealand press. It is listed as 1981 when it was released in New Zealand. I know this album came out before that. I want to say it came out in like 79 or something like that. Maybe even earlier than that. I don't know. This one was 1981, and this one is from New Zealand. It is on the Albert Productions. There's the label. There's the Albert Productions label. I do not have an inner sleeve. If they even came with an inner sleeve, I do not remember. This was, speaking of my birthday coming up, this was a present from a friend of mine. I want to say I turned 15 that year when this was given to me. And it's got this cool, you know, the Australian cover with the dog peeing on the thing. Different cover, slightly different track list than the American version of this same record. So AC/DC's High Voltage. Great record. I mean, let's see here in the back. We got Baby Please Don't Go, She's Got Balls, Little Lover, Stick Around. Side 2's got Soul Stripper, You Ain't Got a Hold on Me, Love Song, and Show Business. So, yeah, does not have the song High Voltage on it, but yeah, great record. All right, next up is my 80s pop / new wave section. And the first thing in that, Adam and the Ants, Kings of the Wild Frontier. There's a nice picture in the back of this. I just picked, I don't know, probably a year or two ago maybe. I love this record, man. Doggy Dog, Ant Music, Kings of the Wild Frontier, Don't Be Square, Jolly Roger, Physical, You're So. And yeah, this has got the inner sleeve. I ordered this off of Discogs. I started getting, paying more attention to that. It's on Epic Records. I don't know what... I really dig this. I dig this, Adam and the Ants. I dig Adam Ant as a solo artist. The band, when he goes solo, they kind of go on to form Bow Wow Wow. I dig that. I just really dig the sound of this band, their style, the way the drums are, and just, it's just kind of happy sounding type of music. Yeah, the Kings of the Wild Frontier. I know this is not their debut. I do not have their debut. That one's kind of hard to find. Well, you can. It's Dirk Wears White Socks. You can find it. I would like to have the original version with the original cover. You can find the repress one, and when they got more popular, they put a different cover on it and press it with a different track listing. And I go back and forth as to which one I want to buy, which one's worth the money or whatever. It's a little more expensive than the rest of the Adam Ant stuff I bought, so I haven't picked it up yet, but one day I will. All right. My next section, alternative / grunge section. So, alternative music. So, Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. You can say maybe she's not alternative. To me, she's an alternative singer, alternative goddess. You can say this is I don't know what can be said about this record. This record is one of the best. This is killer all the way through and through. This is, let's see, from 1995, and I think this is a 2024 repress. Right around there. I've had it about that time. I saw it at the record store and I bought it. I'm like, okay, gotta buy Jagged Little Pill. It's one of those records, it's got some cool songs on it. And then I listened to it and actually listened to the whole record, and I was blown away. I was so excited. I'm like, man, this is so good. I go upstairs to tell my wife, man, this record is freaking great. And she's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's really, really good. She's like, yeah, I know. I'm a 90s kid. I forget that she's 10 years younger than me. She's like, this was in my CD player constantly when it came out. I've heard this album 1,000 times. I know how great it is. You don't have to tell me. I'm like, all right, woman, great. I'm glad I can finally be on the same page when it comes to this record. So Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. It's got lyrics. It's pretty heavy duty inner sleeve. There's a picture of her right there. And it is... There's the label right there. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. Maverick Records. All right, the next section I have is my punk section. And the first thing in the punk section is this AFI record. And this is a picture disc, as you can tell. Sorry, we're getting a glare. Let's see if I can pull this thing out here. What the hell's the name of this record? See, the sticker on here, you can barely read it. It's a retrospective, so it's a greatest hits record. I read up on this. I remember that now. They had to put out for their that's the B side. This is the A side. They owed their record company one more, according to the record company contract. AFI did not think they owed them anymore, so they did not give them a record. And the record company made this greatest hits album and put it out. And AFI wasn't too happy about it. Pretty cool stuff. I got this when we moved here to Tennessee about 4 years ago or so. met some new people, and the first time I had one of my new friends over and he saw my record collection, he was like, "Oh, I have a record." A record. I'm like, "What, one? Who has one?" He's like, "Yeah, you can have it if you want it." And I'm like, "You just want to give it to me?" He's like, "Well, I know where it's at if I want it back." So I've had it for 3 years now. I don't think he wants it back. So that's where I got the AFI record, was from him. And it's the only AFI I own. And I don't spin it that often, but I do like it when I do. So it was kind of, it's got a little bit of poppy noises in it because he didn't really take care of it, but that's okay. Okay, next section, my most hated section. The only reason I keep it is because the wife would be mad at me if I did not, is the country section. And the first thing in that is Alabama. My home is in Alabama. And I have no idea what this sounds like because I've never played it. And I know at the beginning of the year I said I was going to play everything I had before the end of the year, and now there's 2 weeks to go, and I haven't got it done. And I tried, and then I sold a bunch of stuff, and then I just kind of gave up on that whole thing. And maybe I'll look at it again and see what's left, but I know there's a lot of country left, and I don't know if I can handle it or not. This has got Tennessee River, my home's in Alabama, hanging with my traveling shoes, or hanging up my traveling shoes. I have no idea. I mean, I know what Alabama sounds like. I mean, you know, this album is from 1980, yes. And I was a kid of the 80s, and growing up where I grew up in Utah, lots of country music fans, so I heard plenty of Alabama. And that's probably part of the reason I don't like country music, because I was a metalhead in a town filled with rednecks and cowboys, and they listened to country music and gave us shit all the time because we were metalheads. So maybe that's part of the reason I don't like country music. Plus, I don't know, a lot of country just doesn't speak to me. So that's all. It's on an RCA label. Oh, that one just almost fell over. We don't want to do that. So yeah, Alabama in my country section. And that was also one that was found in the dumpster, and that's why I own it. Most of the country I have was that way. People give it to me or whatever. I've never actually went out and bought a country album. But I have been given them, and I've probably got 20 or 30 over there. I've listened to some of them. I listened to Johnny Cash, and I listened to Merle Haggard, and, you know, Waylon Jennings and stuff like that. So, you know. All right, next section is just kind of a rock pop section is where I got that at. And first one in that is this Amy Winehouse Back to Black album, which is a great record. And I was thinking about this, you know, Steve, and A is for Alice, B is for Bob. He did a contest about does jazz suck? And I was thinking, yeah, jazz sucks because, you know, I don't own any jazz. But I own this, and this is a jazz album, I guess you would say. It's jazzy, but it's not jazz like, you know, Miles Davis or anything like that. But I would say this kind of constitutes as a jazz record, as a pop type jazz record. Amy Winehouse, this got Rehab. This is their big one, you know. Me and Mr. Jones, Back to Black, all that sold millions of copies. This is an alternate cover. Some of them have this cover. Some of them have a cover of hers like sitting on a stool. I'm not sure which one's the OG one or whatever. But when I saw this in the record store, I had to buy it. I mean, I know it's freaking great. It is a great record. I don't spin it very often. I have to be in the mood for that type of style of music to kind of slow it down or whatever. But when I do, I always enjoy it. I sing along with every song. I know them all. When that album came out, me and the wife listened to it all the time. So, all right, one more section. This is my various section. It's where hip hop goes. It's where soundtracks go. It's where weird things I don't know that doesn't fit in my other genres. You know, if I have, you know, I don't have that many hip hop records, so I'm not giving them their own section. Not yet. My kid keeps buying it. It may have to have its own section. So they go in the various section. So the first thing in the various section is another Japanese press. Is another record that I found that day. And that is Boney M, Night Flight to Venus. I'm not sure how you would classify this. I guess it's sort of a disco sound on it. I was going to get rid of this, and my son told me in no uncertain terms could I get rid of Boney M's Night Flight to Venus. I'm like, why do you care about this? He's like, dude, it's got Rasputin on it. You got to keep it for rah Rasputin. You've got to keep it. So I have. I kept it, and I've actually listened to it, and it's kind of cool. So it's a Japanese press. No Obi on this one. I do have the insert, though. And it's got a pretty cool label on it. Pull this out. It's got the Atlantic on the one side, and the other side, let's get that facing the right direction for you guys. Boney M. I don't know if you can see that, but this record is clean, as most of them were when they were found that day. So yeah, that's basically, most of them were A's, other than Boney M, of course, but yeah, that was the first record from every section in my collection except for one. And I thought the one I wouldn't pull out because Kiss has their own section. So what's the first one in the Kiss section? The first Kiss album. I've shown enough Kiss for a while. So, oh, excuse me there. So that's pretty much it for the day. Kind of give you just a little taste of some of the stuff. So that's it. Like I said, I really appreciate y'all watching. I really appreciate everybody watching and all the new followers, everybody who's been helping out with the contest. Like I said, we still got a few more weeks to go. And I'll keep the names in the listing, and I will update you on the names probably in an episode and a few to make sure I haven't missed anybody. Long before I draw, I want to make sure I haven't missed anybody. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for me this week. Happy Friday, all. Cheers to everybody out in the vinyl community. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everything. You guys have a great night. Have a great weekend, and we will talk to you all later.